Since I was young, my dad has instilled in me the values that he holds close to his heart. Respect, service, compassion, and determination are some of the values that encompass the man he is. One of the many lessons he taught me was to repay my debts, especially favors. Unfortunately, due to last week's circumstances, I will be forced to let him down. Nothing I do will ever reciprocate the quality of care, the love, and the support that my family has been shown in our darkest hour.
My name is Jeff Bruno. This is my wife, Trina. Right now, I am the interim assistant chief for the Kankakee Fire Department. September 19th, it was a warm, humid September day. I walked into the fire station and I got in there and the guys were in the back bunk room and I went to grab the paperwork and I felt and heard a pop. It was something that really took my breath away and I had to sit down to regain my composure. I walked over to the ambulance, told the personnel that I wasn't feeling well, and they transported me to Riverside Medical Center. I asked, would you please call my wife and please call my son and have them come.
I drove very calmly to Riverside thinking everything was okay. And then when I got to Riverside and they brought me to his room, Dr. Dalton came in pretty much at the same time that I got there. And I could tell how serious he thought it was, so I just asked him at that point. I said, should I call my daughter? And he said, well, where is she? And I explained that she was a flight attendant and she was getting on a plane to go on a trip. And he didn't even really hesitate. He said, yes, you definitely need to get her here.
I'm on the plane, boarding, and my phone's ringing. And I'm like, she knows I'm working. Why is she calling me? So I answered it. And her first words, I need you to remain calm.
My nephew, Justin, calls me at 9:50 and says, Uncle Jim, Jeff's in the hospital. They think he's had an aortic aneurysm.
At that point, everything moved fast. As he came back, I asked, is there a chance he won't make it through this? And they did tell me, yeah, that there was actually a really good chance he wouldn't make it through it. They told me that they were getting the room ready and that they needed to get him in as soon as possible. And at that point, I was afraid that Kaylee wasn't going to make it. One of my family members suggested that we FaceTime. I would have just never forgave myself if she didn't get to talk to him.
Probably was the hardest phone call I've ever had to do. All my other family was there and I have to try to say goodbye to my daughter over the phone.
Through my head, I'm thinking, okay, 23 years old and I'm gonna lose my father.
I remember right before going in, the hallway, just both sides, full of family, friends, fire department family.
And it was kind of like a scene out of a movie. It was just everybody crowded around, and Jeff's always been such a strong man in my life that it was hard seeing him there. And my husband, I never see cry, and he was tearing up and holding back, so it was intense to say the least.
Dr. Youssef did come in and introduce himself and explain what he was going to be doing.
Most people don't make it to the hospital because if the aorta ruptures completely, the blood leaks out so fast that they don't make it to the hospital. The ones that make it to the hospital, the ones that make it to the operating room, the mortality of surgery is pretty high.
Yeah, I was really worried that was the last time I was going to see my brother alive.
In surgery of aortic dissection, we stop the circulation, which we call a circ arrest. So for a period of time, these patients have no blood flowing through their veins and arteries. None of the organs are getting any blood, including the brain. We only have a window of 45 minutes. If we take more than 45 minutes, most of these patients don't come back.
He told us his concerns and, if he made it through the surgery, which there was a high chance that he wouldn't.
We were lucky enough to fix all this in 15 minutes. And everything was just falling into the right place and everything went very smooth. And after surgery, most of these patients don't even wake up. But he woke up right away and, we were able to take the breathing tube out and he did great recovery. Within 3-4 days, he was ready to go home. So it went better than we expected. When I came out of the operating room, and it's such an emotional experience that I might get emotional talking about it, I saw so many firefighters just there for support. And they were all sitting in the chapel, and the whole family was there, and the whole community was there. People have told me that the parking lot was full of fire engines. So the whole Kankakee, maybe Bradley and Bourbonnais fire department was there to support and be there for Bruno.
I've always said that there is no other profession that takes care of its own better than what we do in the fire service.
I think as firefighters and paramedics and just emergency workers in general, we're expected to go in and save everybody else, but we're just really human as well. Sometimes people have to come to our aid and help us out, and we're certainly there for each other to support him as well. So thanks to the doctors and the nursing staff that are able to come to our aid and help us out in our time of need as well.
The Riverside team was just amazing. From ICU to ER to cardiac rehab to telemetry, from the minute I hit those ER doors until the minute I walked out. Just amazing.
Being able to have that expertise in Kankakee at Riverside is really not always matched. There's not every hospital in the country, in the state, in the region has a cardiothoracic surgery program. We have one. And the importance is not just having one, but having one that performs at the level that we do. And that's why the partnership with UFC has allowed us to continue to excel, to grow, and provide an excellent cardiothoracic surgery program at Riverside.
I thank God every day that I have proof that it is okay to stay right here in our own backyard and to utilize the resources that we have here.
To me, the Jeff Bruno story makes my job all worthwhile. When you watch someone in a critical situation like that Jeff was in, and because we have the team that we have in place, because we have Dr. Youssef and a cardiothoracic surgery program that operates at the level that does, we were able to save his life.
For those who donated to the Riverside Heart and Vascular Institute, I greatly thank all of you for your kind-hearted donations.
Of course, my son added to it, Justin, by putting the letter in the paper. He truly meant everything he said, and he spoke for himself, his wife Tammy, and his sister Kaylee, and Jeff and I. It was word for word how we all felt.
I think he really wanted to honor his dad, even in a way that he feels comfortable. So I think it really touched a lot of people and shown how proud we are of the community that his dad has dedicated his life to. Nothing I do will ever reciprocate the quality of care, the love, and the support that my family has been shown in our darkest hour. Although biased, I believe the world is a better place with my dad in it.